we're 4 years into this generation. What the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series came out in 2020 or something like that. I think I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it was 2020. And 4 years in, and we kind of know. I mean, we definitely know what we got at this point. And for the most part, this generation was just okay. I'm looking at most of the games that came out, and to me, it feels like a lot of these games are just a continuation of the PlayStation 4, Xbox One era or that generation, and nothing really stand out. But I'm not going to sit here and say it was a bad generation or something that was terrible. But I just feel like there was nothing that was pushed to the point where we could feel like this was a staple in the entire, history of gaming. I don't feel that way. Actually, this console generation actually was the console generation that got me back into either playing older consoles or trying to find, hidden gems on PC. And that's kind of weird because never in my lifetime, even when the PlayStation 4 dropped back in 2013 and I built my first PC, I still felt like there was something special going on with the PlayStation 4. Like nowadays I look at games and I'm just staring at them. There's nothing there to say, okay, I gotta go get that game. Like honestly, the only game that made me feel that way, and I kind of regret one of them. It was three of them actually, and like I said, there's one of them that kind of got me, regretting feeling that way. It was Gran Turismo 7 was one of them, and KOF 15 was another one, and Street Fighter 6 was another. And I'm kind of regretting the Gran Turismo 7 one because of what, how that all transpired. And there's by no means it's not a bad game. It's just the content of the game is what's really the problem. And honestly, the content of the game is really what's killing, or I'm not gonna say killing, but hindered this generation. You look at a lot of content that is in these games is very bare bones for the most part. And I'm not talking like bare bones like, Xbox 360 2005 2006 bare bones. It's just that compared to what we had back then to now, it just feels like it's an even kill, even playing field. There's nothing taking that step up. You know what I mean? And it's really disheartening. I go back and talk about Gran Turismo 7. Now, don't get me wrong. I had a lot of fun with Gran Turismo Sport, even though that game came out bare bones as well. But they stepped it up because they knew the people who came from Gran Turismo 6 was not really feeling what's going on. So they did that as far as giving you more offline stuff. I did a video about that. I'll probably put it up here in the cards. If you still want to play that game offline, very, very robust game, even offline, which is incredible. But when you go back and think about Gran Turismo 7, it's just not so much. It's just not. Yeah, you can go through all the cafes and get all the cars, but it doesn't feel it doesn't, I'll put it like this. It doesn't feel like this game here, which this game here has a resurgence to what's going on now. People for the past year or so have been modding this game on the PlayStation 2 emulator. Game looks beautiful in 4K. Even some people are just playing the PlayStation 2 version, original, just like this. And they're realizing how much of the career mode, how in-depth it was, and how much fun people are actually having to buy used cars, tune them up, and fix them to their liking. Gran Turismo 7, I'm not saying it doesn't have that, because it does have that aspect of it, but you can tell the game is driven to online play. And I think that for esports guys and all that stuff is great for them. But as far as that goes, your level of content is diminished. You notice like a lot of stuff that's online only or just online leaning towards the online side of things is very is lackluster in content in general. And it doesn't help when everything goes offline. And this is another reason why I've been playing a lot of racing games lately. I mean, the Forzas of the world. Where I've been playing, Need for Speed. I did that on a live stream recently. Here's a couple of other games that nobody really talk about. But this company right here, well, this game is still going on. WRC for the PS2. Yeah, you can get WRC for EA Sports WRC now, which I think that's a great game because those guys that made those games, they do give you a lot of content. So you're pretty much good if you get any of the WRCs. And this is a game here as well that the new generation, or this current generation, is not living up to. And I may do a whole video on this one. Enthusia Professional Racing. This game is absolutely phenomenal. It's not about these games in general, this video, but I'm just telling you that these games that I just pointed out has so much content in it. You could spend hours and hours, weeks, probably months playing those games and having a good time. If you're playing online, if you got other guys to play with, then you're good in this generation. And I'm not just talking about racing games, I'm just talking about in general. But if you're an online gamer like myself, and a lot of other people are as well, because just online games it's just not where it's been. But this generation just does not have the content, in my opinion, to live up to where it was years past. And when it comes to PC gaming, which I'll go to that in another extent, where the PC side of things, I'm basically just looking at games that was in the 7th generation that are for PC. Like I've been playing a lot of, let's say, Need for Speed Most Wanted, the 2005 version. Beautiful game on PC. Beautiful game. The game is pretty hard to find on 360. You can get it on 360, but it just goes to say, like, with that generation as well, you got a lot of content, even though the rise of the patches started to come in around that generation. But it's just that when you look at the PlayStation 5 now, don't get me wrong, I think there's a lot of games out there that you can play. There's a lot of games you can play on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series. You can have you really can have a good time. And it's really a testament to how great some of those games actually look. But it just, this generation was just all right. It feels kind of hollow in some sense. There's no defining moment. I mean, you can sit there and say, oh, well, what about Spider-Man? And I'm like, was it really? I mean, I guess based on the perception of the people who played it, maybe. But does that, I mean, God of War, was it? Really? Gears 5? It just, to me, those games, even, God of War had a different aesthetic to it than the old ones. I prefer the old ones. And I kind of get it if people do like that game because of what's been going on, on what that game was built from and where it originated from. But all these other games felt like just, games from the past that just, was beefed up in graphics. It's not much here. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, maybe you guys look at it differently, but it's just something about this generation just was not there for me. And like I said, it got me going back to playing 6th generation. Like I said, I did a video about that as well, playing 6th generation games and how much I love them. The PS2, and I got this game here, just sitting here as well. Original Xbox, more racing games that I just find absolutely phenomenal. Now, do I play other games? Yes, I am playing other games, but it's just that I don't know. I feel like I'm challenged with the racing games. Got another one right here. Dirt 1 for the Xbox 360. But you kind of know that's where I am right now. I'm playing a lot of racing games and I do play a couple of other games as well, but I don't know what they're going to do. Just with this gaming generation was just cool. It was okay. And what they're going to do going forward, I don't know, because it doesn't look like it's going to be any better. You're going to get better hardware, and there's reports about the PS5 CPU is the same as the PS5 Pro CPU is the same as the PS5. So that's a whole nother issue that I don't want to do it right now. But yeah, I've rambled enough. I know I can, and I don't want to hold you guys up. I can get a little winded. So we'll talk again, probably a little bit more about this topic, because there's a lot more that could go on here, especially when it comes to the other generations. So I'll see y'all guys next time. I'm out. Peace.